Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Checkpoint Corner, our video game podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and like every week, I'm joined with Tyler.
Hello.
And Matherin.
Hey there.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast by gamers for gamers.
Better not be our motto.
We got some things to talk about. There's a Nintendo Direct we'll talk about a little bit, but before we get into that, how are you guys doing?
Fine.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Playing any games this week?
Literally right before coming here, I was playing Lost in Random again.
Oh,
I started
yeah, you haven't played that in a
forever
while?
ago, but now I just started. And I was on, I think it's like the very first boss fight. And I got him down to literally 0 health. And then he whacked me and I died. I don't know how he didn't die.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
swear his HP bar was down to nothing.
That's how it goes. Is that game any good, or?
Yeah, I like the combat system a lot, but I think it's gonna get stale soon though.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I saw that
Yeah.
it got added to recently. You been playing anything, Matherin?
I've been playing lots of Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, getting back into Monster Hunter again, and I'm glad I am.
yeah, it's fun.
It is.
I haven't played it.
Well, you
Neither.
should.
I've been playing a couple things. I got Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
It's very different from the Dark Souls games, so I'm having a lot of trouble learning all the mechanics.
Yeah.
And then I also got the Martha is Dead game. It's a psychological horror game. It's kind of controversial because it's censored on the PlayStation Store. I don't know if
Oh.
it still is, but I know it got censored because there's a pretty grisly scene where you have to cut off your sister's face
Oh my
Yeah.
and
God.
peel it off, and you have to do all the little actions. It's pretty gross, but it's not. I played it on Xbox, so it's not censored
Mm.
there. And then but they have a skip button now if you want to skip through that part.
Yeah.
And I haven't played too much of those games, so I don't want to say a lot. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week.
Nice.
Hope to dive deeper into those games. Anything else you guys been playing?
Not particularly.
No, not really. Just mainly that.
Well, there was a Nintendo Direct Mini this week. Not a lot of super exciting announcement for myself, but
I saw a little bit of them. They looked
yeah, it's
interesting.
mostly about just games coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
They showed a Monster Hunter Rise
Oh,
DLC.
Sunbreak, yeah. My friend Caleb, who's been getting me back into Monster Hunter Rise specifically, was very excited about Sunbreak.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get it when it.
Is it just another area with more monsters? Or?
Yeah, it's like a huge expansion.
Cool,
Which
cool.
the last time they did that with World, I really like the expansion that they added for that. So
The Ice World or whatever?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for this one.
That's exciting. There's some other stuff. Nier Automata is coming to Switch. That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
For people who haven't played that game, I don't know how it'll look or run, but
Yeah.
one thing that's also kind of exciting was there's a Pac-Man World remake coming out
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played. I have a ton of nostalgia for the Pac-Man World 2 and 3 not really because I didn't play that much one a lot and it's not as good, but I'll probably get that.
Yeah.
I like that. There's also so the Persona games are coming to Switch.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5, just like the Xbox. So
Yeah.
that's cool that they're finally getting moved to other platforms.
Yeah.
To play on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense since Joker's in Smash as well. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, and that's kind of everything. There was the Portal's getting bundled and released on the Switch, so you can play 1 and 2 on the Switch.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I might play that because I played the second one, the co-op, but I didn't play the story. I just watched someone play it.
Oh yeah.
And then the first one I haven't played, so maybe this is why. Maybe I'll use this opportunity to play them both.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention about the Nintendo Direct. If there's anything else you guys seen,
I didn't watch it, so.
you hate Nintendo.
No, I saw bits and snippets of it. I think that was all that really caught my eye. Yeah. Was there anything else though? Or was that it?
No, it looks like there's Atari 50th anniversary celebration, so
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
Atari games are coming. Return to Monkey Island. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope was shown.
Oh yeah.
I think something about Minecraft Legends.
Oh yeah. Bowser is being added to the new Mario and Rabbids game.
He wasn't a character in the first one?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, you get to play as him. I think he can be like on your team or whatever, which is I think it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we get into our topic for this week?
Yeah.
So we're going to be discussing some video games that video game levels or sections, because some of these games don't even have levels really.
Yeah.
But just sections in video games that really just grind our gears, really just make us just want to throw our controller and be done with the game. But we're going to start off with Matherin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I don't mean to throw this on you, but we're going to start with you. So what's your first?
well, my first one is kind of just in Skyrim. Every section that includes Charuses, those little monster things.
Oh.
Those are the most mind-numbingly like just worst parts of Skyrim, I think, and I absolutely
Really?
despise them. It's because you can't just like blow through them. Well, I mean, you kind of can, but not all the time, because the Charuses themselves do a lot of damage to you, and they poison you all the time and stuff. But I just hate like every aspect about them, especially the fact that they just take so long. But yeah, it's not like my biggest pet peeve, but whenever I play Skyrim, that's something I really like. Don't look forward to at all.
Yeah, those enemies, I'll throw in my 2 cents here, but the Dwarven places in Skyrim I do not like.
No, yeah, me neither. Yeah.
All the Dwarven architecture, and it just feels the same, and it's always so long. And yeah, I'd rather just go through like the Nord dungeons and not the Dwarven ones.
Yeah.
But
Dwarves aren't very exciting.
There was that one place in Skyrim I despise. I forget what the name of it. The underground place. It's the big old open area. Blackreach.
Blackreach, where you get the Elder Scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a skip you can do where if you do to become Ethereal Shout, you can just jump all the way down to the bottom and not take any damage.
Oh, no. That's. Are you talking about the Dawnguard DLC? Or?
Oh no, I'm talking about the main quest.
Okay.
Are you thinking of the Dawnguard
No,
DLC?
no, I'm talking about the Blackreach one. I know there's a couple cool secrets there. If you like shout out the orb, a dragon will come out.
Oh, really?
And you can fight a
yeah.
dragon underground. But I don't like Blackreach at all.
No, yeah, I hate that place.
There's a like Ninroot quest that you have to do. You have to collect like the glowing Ninroot, and you're just wandering around. It's really big and open, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
It looks cool because it's cooler than like the Charus place itself. But like once you get there, it's just so big and open, and you just want to go and get the Elder Scroll, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say mine unless you have any more you wanted to say.
No, you go ahead.
So I've got I think it's in God of War 3, or maybe it's 2, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 because you get sent down to hell. But I think that's where you are. But there's this one part where you have to climb up this wall, and you have to go like side to side to dodge these blades that are spinning out of the wall, and or maybe they're like spiral saw things that you have to dodge. And if you get hit, you fall all the way to the bottom. And doing that over and over is really infuriating
Yeah.
because Kratos
yeah.
isn't the fastest climber, and if you get hit once, you have to restart. And that was agonizing in that section. But
Yeah.
apart from that, the Hades level was pretty cool. I think it's in Hades anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, well, I guess you guys haven't played it, so you can't say too much about it.
I played a bit of Hades.
No.
Oh,
God of War.
God of War. Never mind.
But I'm glad you played Hades.
Yeah, I still haven't played Hades or God of War, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's one first one on your list, Tyler?
I've talked about this before on the podcast, but in Dante's Inferno, there's this one section where it's like the spinning saw, and you have to like jump to platforms, and I was so annoying because every time you fell, you had to fight. Like a bunch of enemies would come out, and you had to fight them before you could try again, and it was just so time consuming for no reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, there was like a lava pit nearby that I just jumped in to avoid fighting all the enemies.
Just to respawn.
Yeah, it would spawn me back up there. So
I definitely remember that section.
and I think in the same like area, there was also this elevator shaft that you had to like jump up with like moving platforms. And obviously not an elevator shaft, but
Yeah.
it looked like one. With like moving platforms, and these flying creatures would spawn, and it's just so easy for you to get knocked off. It feels like.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
that does sound frustrating.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was not fun. I don't like falling off things, so.
Yeah, no one does really.
And the camera angle does not help.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. What's the next one on your list, Matherin?
Next one of mine is I as a kid I really struggled with this, so I probably wouldn't struggle with it too much now. And I know I've mentioned it, but it's the pod racing segment on the Lego Star Wars game. Seeing that cutscene though is really what gets you, because it's just that cutscene of you losing over and over. It's so frustrating. Like there's a lot of frustrating platforming segments in that game, especially like that one at Mustafar. That was just really difficult for no reason.
Mhm.
But that pod racing was just the most infuriating thing, because that cutscene where you just have to like be like pouting or whatever is so stupid, and I hated it. And I just hated that.
Let it
segment.
out. Let it
Yeah.
out.
I don't know. If I played this again, it probably wouldn't be that much of an issue. But
Yeah.
oh man,
Looking back on it.
yeah, looking back on it, yeah, very frustrating.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's what you got.
So, speaking of racing, so in the Mad Max game, there's this one part where you have to do this race,
Yeah, I remember
and
this.
I think the point, yeah, well, either the point is to kill the guy or win the race, but I think it's basically the same thing. So there's a guy in front that like drives way forward, and you have to catch up with him, otherwise you'll lose. And then while you're trying to do that, all these people are trying to like destroy your car. All these other racers
Yeah.
are trying to destroy your cars, and he's like setting down landmines and stuff, and he's so fast, and my car wasn't leveled up as it should be, because I had to do that so many times. The
Oh
only
my
way
gosh,
I won was one of his own teammates' cars got stuck in front of him, so he was slowly chugging along while his own teammate was slowing him down. And man, the amount of times I had to redo that race, like it's a
Yeah.
fun level, but man,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I
you'll get
remember
there
that.
if you keep playing Mad Max, and maybe it won't be as bad for you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But my goodness.
I remember you tried the strategy of like just waiting at the start line for him,
Oh, yeah.
and then just catching up and chasing him like that way.
Yeah, I tried so many different things.
Yeah.
It took so long because he was always just so much faster, and if anything slowed me down, it was over.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
I had to be flawless with my driving, but I did it.
Yeah.
What's the next one on your list, Tyler?
Mine is another platforming bit, but this is from Devil May Cry. I think it's the first
I
one.
I know exactly what you're
But it's
talking
like we have to jump up. It's like a very small section, but you have to jump up these stupid like small red circles, and the camera angle just gives you no depth perception. You can't move it.
and the jumping isn't very precise.
Not at all. So I would always either like undershoot it, overshoot it. I would go everywhere but the platform. It was so annoying. I spent like an hour just trying to get past this stupid platform.
Yeah, I remember having a little bit of difficulty, but I am a gamer, so I did conquer it
All
with
right.
these.
Man.
Yeah, those don't. I remember this is I kind of want to say this for like most frustrating boss fights, but there's a boss fight in Devil May Cry 3 where Virgil comes in, and I guess you control Virgil and Dante at the same time, but because Virgil's in, you can't block or something because your button has to be used for something else, and that just like puts such a nerf on your character that you hope Virgil doesn't come in to help you.
Yeah, I don't
But
remember that.
Really, it's this, and I had to cheese the crap out of this boss by just like keep jumping up and down and slashing. But that part was so
Who were
frustrating.
you fighting?
It was some blob guy. I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up when Mather's talking about his next
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah, I don't remember that. But
yeah, I remember that platforming segment though, and getting kind of annoyed with it.
I got super annoyed with
Super
it.
annoyed.
Super. One might even say I raged.
Oh my goodness. I think we all raged on these.
Yeah.
What's the next one on your list?
So mine is from Hollow Knight.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, I love Hollow Knight and everything. And you may be thinking I'm talking about the Path of Pain. I am not. Even though I do think that is frustrating, I feel like it's still fair, except for one thing. But what I wanted to talk about was just the entire Crystal Peak section.
Oh, really?
Because I hate the platforming there. When I first started Hollow Knight, that was I was having such a hard time traversing the entirety of Crystal Peak because I just hated everything there. those little flies that shoot the little shard things.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely despise them.
They can get really annoying.
They're the worst enemy in the game. Like, just hands down, I despise them.
Mhm.
And they mix them in with like these really difficult platforming sections sometimes. And
Yeah.
they wouldn't be so difficult if they just removed those enemies, but they make that so much more difficult.
They do, yeah.
So
It
yeah, I
sucks.
really hated that section, and now I've kind of come to terms with it. It's like once you complete that section, you know, and you get to the top or to the peak of Crystal Peak, you know,
Mhm.
then it's like, you know, you're done and you're over it, and you never really have to go there again. Kind
Yeah.
of. So it's not so bad anymore, but
Yeah.
when I first started, it was really bad.
It doesn't help that like Crystal Peak is pretty confusing.
It is.
Like if you don't
yeah.
have the map or something, so you have to go like all the way up and then all the way down
Yeah.
to open up all those gates,
Yeah.
and then you have to like go across with all the lasers shooting and stuff.
Yeah, and then like when there's like that, when you think there's like a little reprieve with the Crystal Guardian, you know, then it starts the Crystal Guardian fight. And
Yeah.
if you're already at low health and you just need to sit on that bench, then you're just screwed.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah.
And there's like so many things. Like if you get like damaged enough with all like the spikes and stuff, like
Yeah.
and so there's some enemies that you just can't get soul from.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the little crawlies that walk around, like you can't get soul from them
Yeah. Yeah.
to heal yourself. So
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that bank is pretty like essential, and you have to do a whole boss fight.
Yeah, you have to do a whole boss fight in order to get it. Mind you, it's not an easy one by any means, except if you're like a pro at the game, then
Yeah.
it's a pushover. But like when I first started, I was so pissed when I found out that was a boss fight and I lost everything there.
Yeah.
It's like I tried to go back there once to try and do it again, and I like lost so much health on the way, and like I just gave up.
Yeah.
Like I was just so mad at it.
There used to be a keys you could do with that boss fight where he doesn't wake up if you just like cast spells on him.
Oh
So
really?
you just like keep doing fireball and he'll just die in his sleep.
But they patched
Fireball.
it.
Yeah, not anymore.
There
You
is a
can't do
cheese that if you equip the stench charm though, then you can just walk right up to him and he won't wake up.
Oh,
And you just
really?
sit next to him and he keeps taking damage.
that. That must take a while though.
It does take a while from what I saw, but yeah. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, I'll keep it in this similar to the Souls games. So I could probably make the whole podcast being about Dark Souls sections. But the one
That's
I
what
want to
they're here
talk
for.
about is this one section called Sneck Fortress.
Snack Fortress.
Yeah, in the first game.
Yeah.
So, oh no, not Sneck Fortress, Sen's Fortress.
Oh, I thought you were saying Snake Fortress, and you're saying Snake is Sneck.
Yeah, I thought it was called Sneck's Fortress, but it's Sen's Fortress.
Okay.
So Sen's Fortress, this place sucks.
Oh
You have to
no.
fight these stupid lizards with. I'll try and run you through it. So if I remember correctly, you start off. You have to open this big gate. You walk through, and then there's two lizard men waiting for you. And then if you step on this trap, arrows will shoot at you. But that's no problem really. The hard part comes later. You if you pass them, then you get into a bigger room, and then you have to walk across this very thin bridge with swinging axes while someone standing up there casts a lizard mage person is standing up on a higher leg. He'll cast like electricity on you or something.
Oh god.
So you have to like run and quickly get underneath the bridge. Then there's another lizard person on the same very thin bridge waiting for you at the end. So you have to try and dodge him on this very thin bridge without getting knocked off, run up the stairs to another thin bridge where the mage guy is. And then you have to time it perfectly where you run past another axe and then dodge his like blast and then kill him. And if you manage to do that, which took me very long,
Yeah.
and it was very frustrating, you're
Yeah.
not done yet, because then you have to
Oh,
go through
no.
to another area, and there's a boulder that gets pushed and rolls down this one section. So you have to make sure you time it right and run quick enough. You might have to get naked so you run faster.
Oh my.
And
Oh
then,
my.
and then
Oh
if you manage to
my.
dodge that boulder, I think there's another boulder you have to dodge, which is even tougher. And it's annoying because you can turn the boulder thing. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Now I don't have to deal with the boulder if I die again. But I think it just gets turned back if you die. So it's like,
Oh,
what
what?
even is the point?
Oh my gosh.
Then you keep having to run through all these thin bridges. The worst is kind of behind you. That's the harder part because there is a bonfire
Yeah.
halfway through. But then you fight this boss at the end, which isn't too difficult. But man, that Sen's Fortress place is the worst area in the first Dark Souls.
Oh no!
Yeah, and some people might say it's Blight Town, which I will talk about later, because that is also really annoying.
Yeah.
Sen's Fortress is just terrible.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, what's the next one on your list, Tyler?
Well, next one on my list is another section from Devil May Cry, where it's like this
Which
big.
game? Or do you not know?
I think it's the first one or the second one.
Okay.
One of
It's
those
blend
two.
together.
Yeah. The big slug boss fight.
Okay.
It's just
The one that like goes through the tunnels and you have to hit it in the right area, or
I don't know. You're like in the demon realm, and he's like this big slob
maybe I'm thinking
in the
something else.
middle, and like he sends out like spikes, and like you have to like circle him and stuff. But sometimes you get behind the blob and you can't even see yourself to dodge the moves.
Oh god.
So it's like the boss fight is easy, but what makes it really infuriating is the camera.
yeah.
Like it doesn't help you at all. And so then sometimes it gets like you trapped and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that boss. I don't remember having too much trouble, but I probably did.
Yeah, I mean, like I only died like once or twice, but like,
Was it the nightmare boss in the first one?
can I see a picture?
Here's kind of like a weird render of it, but
I remember it being more red.
yeah, I do too. Because I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it was just the fact that I eventually beat him by just not going behind him, trying not to go behind him because then I couldn't see myself. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man, that sounds tough. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't Nightmare. It's from the second game. I'm not even gonna bother looking it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think it was from the second game. Now that I think about it, but
what's the next one on your list, Mathern?
Mine's from Monster Hunter World. There is spoilers for you guys because I know you haven't really played it, but and I also don't care. Later in the game, you have to fight like elder dragons.
sounds
Oh,
epic.
yes.
There's one elder dragon fight that is the most infuriating fight like of all time, because if you use any melee weapon, you just can't win. Like you just can't win. You are strictly prohibited to using ranged weapons for that fight. Like there is ways to do it with melee, but it is so tedious and just like aggravating that it is not worth it because he is just he's just like this wind dragon that has a constant tornado around him and he like shoots
Yeah.
tornadoes at you.
Oh,
And it's
God.
like
My goodness.
yeah, he's like insane. And he's like made of metal too. It's kind of
pretty
ridiculous.
intense.
Yeah. So you can't like get near him. And if you do use melee, then you have to like get him at the exact like tip of your sword, like. And of course, that's super hard to line up, and he does a bunch of crazy moves when you're at close range anyway. So you're hard stuck having to use like a bow or like a bow gun or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I needed help from a higher ranked player, aka my friend Caleb, with that fight. And like as soon as we were doing that fight, he's like, "Okay, I'm getting the bow gun on this one," because he knew what fight that was. He says, and he knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's rough. So the next one on my list, well, I guess I'll talk about Blighttown since I
Oh,
teased it.
yeah.
So Blighttown is another Dark Souls area in the first one,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's underground, which is already a red flag, but it's this extremely dark area, and there's scaffolding everywhere, and you can't really see unless you have a torch. But and traversing it is just a huge maze. I don't think it's as bad as Sen's Fortress because Sen's Fortress kind of relies on your skill to survive.
Yeah.
But Blighttown, you can kind of just like do what I did and look up where to go because it's very confusing. I kept falling on roofs. Sometimes the ground will just cave in underneath you, and you'll fall to your death. There's skeletons walking around everywhere. You might get attacked from the darkness. There's these poison things that you have to destroy so they don't poison you constantly.
Oh, my
And
lord.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
And then when you
Yikes.
you can, it's just so hard to finally figure out where you have to go because like the last scaffolding house thing is just
Mhm.
filled with ladders, and you don't know which one's the right ladder, and you have to keep
man.
climbing up and down them to figure out where to go, and it's just awful.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It's very tedious.
Yeah.
Most people can agree that that place just sucks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
all. That's all
can-
I have to say about that.
I can agree. Not to cut you off. Just that tedium in sections of games is really what brings stuff down, and not necessarily like if something's just unusual or just like super hard, because at that point then I know that it's on me. But tedium,
Yeah.
I know it's on the developer that
Yeah.
they just designed this to be as aggravating as possible.
That's the charm of the Dark Souls game, isn't it? Just aggravation.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
never playing at least the first 2 Dark Souls. Maybe I'll try the third one, but
I want to try the third one.
The third one's a masterpiece.
that's what I keep hearing.
And I'll hear your next one on your list, Tyler. What do you got there?
So mine is from Devil May Cry again.
Oh my goodness.
I think
Oh,
this is from
wow.
the 4th.
You must not like these games very much.
I didn't have a good time playing them, but I love the 5th one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think this is from the 4th one. Might be from the 3rd one, but I'm pretty sure it's
I
the
played
4th
through the
one.
4th one most recently, and I don't remember anything about the game, so I'm sorry if you.
Well, it's just the entire forest level that I didn't like.
Oh, because did you get lost?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everything looks the same. I kept walking around and walking around. I had no idea where to go.
Yeah.
And then I discovered that like underneath the bridge is a transition point. I was like, what the hell? I can get on the other side though, just by jumping off. It was
Yeah.
so weird and so confusing. I was lost there for days. And I don't think I ever completed it because of the
Oh, you never beat Devil May Cry 4?
No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember that section. I think I had to look up what to do because I was just kept walking in a circle.
Yeah, it was so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always those spots that, I mean, that spot wasn't even obvious, but when you're walking through and it's like, oh, that's where I was supposed to go all this time, it's just very frustrating.
It is, yeah. Just that
Yeah.
entire level.
Yeah. What's got another one on your list, Mathern?
Yeah, this next one is probably the most aggravating level section
Of all time.
of all time for me in like any game that I have ever played. Is in Divinity.
Okay.
Divinity 2. It is the fucking fire slug fight in the Black Pits. You guys were graced when we were going on through our
Sorry, I'm
playthrough.
allergic to that.
You guys were graced because you never had to do it for whatever reason. Every time I get to that point, though, it is just the worst thing because,
Yes, I remember you complaining about it to me.
yeah, there's so many different things. So, like, basically, you're supposed to save this guy,
Yeah.
and he's all tied up, and this guy is the dumbest idiot ever. He, like, just stays on this top platform, which is super dangerous. Like, it is, like, the most vulnerable spot to all the slugs that come in, which I'll get to the slugs in a second.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he just dies so easily. So what you have to do is you have to teleport him away, far away from the battle, and then, like, keep teleporting him away, because he'll keep trying to come into the battle like he wants to die. That's what it feels like. He just keeps coming in, and it's so frustrating.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
the actual battle itself, it seems like you're just going to fight the Magisters at first, which isn't that bad. But then there's all these oil slugs that come in, and they start jumping everywhere. Oh, sorry. And they start spreading their oil everywhere.
Ah, gross.
And it's just so gross and stuff. And once you kill them, then these fire slugs come in, and they set everything on fire, like literally the entire stage on fire, like this entire like map on fire.
Yikes.
And not only that, it more than likely will turn into necrofire, which you can't put out by normal means. So
Yeah.
you're just like constantly burning, and you have to keep this idiot alive, and you also have to stay alive, and you have to kill all these slugs, which the fire slugs all have armor, which is stupid.
Yeah, what the
And
heck?
it's like,
slugs can't have armor.
ugh. It is the most aggravating level ever, and I it took me so long to like actually develop a strategy. Most of the time I just let the guy die. I just like, whatever, you're dead, and I just keep myself alive.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot
Because you don't
easier.
need him to be alive.
You don't need him, but if you're like trying to go on a good path in the story, then it's better to keep him alive.
Yeah.
But It sucks. Even then, with if he just dies, it still sucks. It's so bad.
When you
Yeah.
replay the game, do you like just dread playing that? section?
I craft as many teleportation scrolls as I can, and yeah, I do dread that. I dread it as much as possible. Like it's the worst. It's the most infuriating thing I have ever done in a game. It's just
Yeah.
going across that level so many times now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of these sections just stop me from replaying the game. Like I'll never replay Dark Souls 1 just because of how many bullshit areas there are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I guess it's my turn.
It
Oh,
is
wow.
your turn, Ryan.
Let
Better
me-
hurry up.
Let me look at my list. So in this, then has any of you? I know Matherin has it, but did you play the original Resident Evil game?
Yes. The
The-
first
the
one?
first one?
Like the very first one? Yes, I
Okay.
have.
So there's a section near the end where I should have done research on this because I don't really remember, but I think you have the cure, or maybe it's some virus, and you have to move it. You're in the basement, and you have to move it from one section to another, but you can't run because that would break it.
Of course.
And so you have to slowly walk through the area while these things attack you, and you can't take too much damage, or it'll break it.
Yeah.
And you have to restart. And that's I think I got it my first time because I was prepared because I was like I'm gonna make sure, like I was cautious, but that section could be so annoying, and just those sections in video games where you have to be careful or else you'll break something.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. And I don't even. It's like a little vial. Why do I have to walk? Can I not run and keep it secure?
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just adding like an unnecessary extra challenge just to
Yeah.
like slow you
Yeah.
down for no reason.
Yeah,
And the
like
people in
the-
that game walk so slowly.
They do.
Yeah. Gosh.
But yeah, that was infuriating,
Indeed.
just because of how slow you have to walk. But yeah, what's the next one on your list?
Well, speaking of trying not to break stuff,
Oh.
I have one from Hollow Knight.
Oh.
Oh,
It-
I know.
It's the flower quest.
Yeah, I
It
knew
is
about that one.
so infuriating. Most of the time when I like start a new playthrough, I like, and I want to 100% it, or at least get all the mask shards. It's annoying that the mask shard is the reward. I feel like it should be
Yeah.
something different, like a charm or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
But you have to travel like all the way across the map without taking any damage
Yeah.
and without taking any stags.
Yeah.
You
like
can
the
take
fast
trams.
travel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to make it all the way over there, and it's worse if you wait until after the crossroads get infected. 'Cause then there's
Yeah.
those stupid birds that go rah, 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 rah,
Yeah.
rah.
They bark like
After
dogs.
you. And then they blow up with their dead bodies.
Yeah.
And they are relentless. They just come after you. So every time I start a new playthrough, I always try and do that quest before the crossroads get infected.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's
awful.
the strategy.
That's optimal.
Take notes, everyone.
But that means you have to do it before getting the wings.
Oh,
no, not
yeah.
the wings.
The wings, so you can't double jump.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Huh.
that is rough. But I would never do that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a couple tries, and it was actually, how I lost one of my Steel Soul runs.
Oh,
Where
really?
if you die, because I like overcharmed because I was like, oh, if I take damage, I'll just teleport back. But then I just died because I was overcharmed.
Oh.
I took
Oh,
double damage.
man.
thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, that
Dang.
sucks. Do you have another one on your list, Matherin?
Yeah, I was kind of wanting to talk about more a mechanic in Monster Hunter. Again, I know we're coming back to this, but with Rathians and Rathalos, those two monsters. Like Rathian's just a female variant of Rathalos.
Right.
It's always fun to fight them because they're just dragons. Like they're just cool looking dragons, except for when they use this one move with their tail, because for whatever reason the developers thought it'd be funny if they put poison on their tail.
Yes.
And poison in Monster Hunter is probably one of the most aggravating things because it will continuously drain your health and you have to immediately treat it.
Yeah.
So usually with poison moves, it's like you just get poisoned and you don't take a whole lot of damage with it, so you actually have time to back off with it. But with the Rathalos and Rathian, they do their tail swipe move at you, and it does a massive amount of damage, and it poisons you, so you have to like completely disengage from the fight and hope that you have enough time to fully heal and that they don't like fireball you or something. Like,
Right.
it just like kind of takes away from the fight, I feel like. And so every time I go for them, I just try and cut off their tails so they can't use that move anymore.
That's the strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy, yeah. But yeah, it's very frustrating, and I just don't feel like it's necessary for them to have poison tails.
Poison is always just so annoying in video games.
It really is, yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty big pet peeve of mine.
Of
It's just-
mine.
of mine, it's just poison. Poison in Monster Hunter
Yeah.
especially sucks.
Uh-huh. For
Mhm.
real.
For
So
real.
this is another thing that just sucks throughout games. Just any underwater level.
Oh
my
god,
Everyone
yeah.
knows.
Mhm.
Talking Mario.
Talk Mario.
Talking Spyro.
Oh my
talking
gosh, yeah.
Pac-Man World 2.
Yeah.
The
Legend of Zelda too.
yeah, that's the one I wanted to bring up. The Ocarina of Time.
Oh my god.
Why don't you take it away, Matherin? Because I haven't. I think I did a little bit of that section, but I didn't complete it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that water section in Ocarina of Time, not only is it very tedious and the puzzles don't make any sense, if you do it wrong, then you have soft locked yourself for the entire rest of the game and you have to load back. It is
my gosh.
that bad. That is like people everywhere despise that level. And going through it, I thought I soft locked myself and I was dreading my existence, but I looked it up and I found out I was actually okay.
Alright.
Thankfully, but it
relief.
was still very tedious to do in the end too. Like it
Yeah.
sucks so much,
Yeah.
and it's just,
Mhm.
it's just so unnecessary. I feel like so much unnecessary tedium. But
What can you do
what can you do?
except play the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's this other like underwater level in Legend of Zelda.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, Twilight Princess. That's the name of it.
Out of all the Legend of Zeldas, I picked the right one.
I don't remember much of that game because it's been so long, but that one was pretty annoying if I remember it right. 'Cause you have to
Yeah.
like, there's like this giant lake and you have to like drain it or something.
Oh,
Huh.
Yeah.
it's not an easy
Interesting.
task.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah.
suck it all up with a straw.
Oh my goodness.
It's a long mini game.
Oh my goodness, that's
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 impressive.
not how you do it.
Yeah.
You have to like equip the iron boots and then like unequip them and then equip them or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's what you had to do in the water temple for
Oh, really?
Ocarina of Time. Yeah, was use the iron boots and equip and unequip them. It's
Hmm.
very annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know why they still thought that was a good idea to implement into Twilight Princess, but
Yeah, that's yeah, I guess we needed to bring up underwater levels in games. So
Yeah.
what's the next one on your list, Tyler?
The next one on my list is from Hollow Knight again.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
It's
That
not-
game doesn't sound very fun. I don't think people should
It
play
is
it, I
very-
guess.
It is
it's,
very fun.
it's not that bad, but like it's just like a tedious thing. It's fighting the Pale Lurker.
Pale Lurker.
He's the guy behind the Coliseum of Fools.
Oh,
That you find
him. Yeah.
He's got the simple key and you gotta chase him around.
Yeah,
It's
he's very
just-
annoying.
Yeah, he's so annoying and it's so tedious. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's just like,
He's just constantly running away from
and
you.
he like throws down the spikes. And most of the time I damage boost through them.
Yeah.
Just to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this weird spin attack, and it's like I can stay still so I can kill you. Like
Yeah.
I really don't want to go through this just to get your freaking simple key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very tedious. That. Very tedious.
Very tedious.
Very tedious.
Yeah.
Did you ever fight the Pale Lurker, Ryan?
Let me look him up. I don't remember. Even if I see him, I probably don't know.
He's like behind the Coliseum of Fools.
Yeah. He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't look familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I share the same sentiment. The first time I fought him was like it took me like actually like 30 minutes because I almost died and I wasn't as good as the game.
Yeah.
As good at the game. It just took me so long, and then the reward was just a simple key, and I felt so disappointed.
Yeah, it was just it's just like a tedious. And it's not fun just chasing this guy, and then he'll just like dig underground and appear randomly in the arena. Again. You have to
Yeah.
go around and find him. I mean, there's sound you can use, but like still, it's just like
Yeah.
I like boss fights. I mean, it's not really a boss fight; it's more like a mini game.
Yeah.
But I like boss fights where you can just like most of the time you can just like continuously hit the guy
Yeah.
while dodging moves, and it's just like someone that teleports all the way across, and you have to like travel all the way there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not very fun.
Not fun at all. Yeah.
What's the next one on your list, Matherin?
Well, I'm kind of out.
Well,
but-
that's kind of infuriating.
I apologize, but I just there's a lot of tedious parts in video games, and the aforementioned parts that I mentioned, you know, it's just when things are obscenely hard for me, too tedious, or just like don't make any sense. Like literally, you're thinking, why were the developers thinking this?
Yeah.
And you know, it's just strange.
Mhm.
Yeah, tediousness is a big factor.
Yeah.
with infuriating game moments.
Oh, definitely.
Or
Yeah.
sections.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you remember in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed where you have to bring down the Star Destroyer?
Oh yeah.
That part, whenever, because I played that game multiple times, I feel like I either crush that section or get stuck on it for so long, because you have to bring down the Star Destroyer, but then TIE fighters come in and shoot you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And if you mess up, then it starts slowly going back up
Yeah.
and aligning itself, so you have to restart and try and bring it down and just bring it closer and closer to bring it down. Where it's like it kind of takes this epic moment and makes it feel really slow and tedious because you're
Yeah.
still like, come on.
Yeah, like the people in the ship, like, oh,
We could just fly away.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that moment. That was
yeah,
it did kind of take the epicness out of it, where you're like, I can do this. I know I can.
yeah,
Yeah. But it's still pretty fun.
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. If I don't have any on my list, but I do have a couple others I want to bring up. Do you have any on your list,
I have
Tyler?
one left.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness. What is it, Tyler? Give it to me.
It's from Evil Within,
Oh,
and
Oh.
this is the
I'm
part.
surprised you remember the game.
Well, this is the part that the reason why I stopped playing it, because I just had no idea what to do, and
Uh-oh.
I was an idiot. But it was
Okay.
the chainsaw guy in the barn.
Okay, that's pretty near the start.
Yeah, it is. I didn't get very far into that game, but I literally didn't know how to break him free, and I wasted all my ammo on trying to get him, we're trying to make him do something. I don't remember what it was, but you need to make him do something or lead him somewhere, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do with him.
You don't just
Yeah.
kill him?
I think you need him to go to the.
I don't really remember the game, but I thought, don't you just kill him?
Well, I tried killing him. Anyways, I wasted all my ammo and all my resources, and I looked through the entire thing. I was like, whatever. If I to do this thing, I need to restart the game, so I'm just not gonna play it ever again.
Oh, I see. Okay.
oh,
So yeah.
I actually do have one more to add. It's a very tedious section for me in Persona 5.
Okay, I was gonna bring up Persona 5.
Okay, yeah. At Persona 5, the whole Mementos thing at the end is the worst thing.
Oh, really? The Mementos Palace?
I hated it. I don't know exactly what it was about it. I just didn't like the puzzles. I didn't like the fights. I just didn't like
Yeah.
the Mementos Palace at all. It just wasn't fun. It was just super tedious.
Yeah, I didn't like it because it was like, oh, here's another palace after
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
through the
Yeah,
one.
it's like you're like, I'm ready to beat the game. I'm ready to go to the heart of Mementos. Oh, another palace. Yeah, that's just there.
I'm glad it's not very long.
It's not long at all. There's only one save room in the entire thing because
Yeah.
of how short it is. But still, it feels like it takes a while. I feel
Yeah.
like.
I remember being like, another palace. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like there's like is the casino level, the casino palace, the one where there's like those tunnels that you can only go one direction in
Tunnels.
in space or whatever.
That was the space one.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
separate from the casino.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The space level was very
Yeah,
tedious.
that one was kind of annoying because you had to open the right doors and go through the tunnels. It was just puzzles and puzzles.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very strange change of pace for a dungeon crawler, which it's just like having the entire level just be puzzles.
Yeah,
It's very dumb.
It's a good thing that game has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Well-
a saving grace for those moments.
Yeah, I guess we should look on online, like a list or something, just to see. so we don't leave anything out, which we
Yeah.
will. But maybe there's some annoying sections that we
Yeah,
should
I
bring
feel
up.
like we're just kind of scratching the surface. 'Cause I remember a lot of annoying segments
I
in
know
games.
there's so many, but
Yeah.
it's
I just don't remember what game.
yeah.
I know.
Those stealth sections really bother me a lot.
Yeah.
Trailing missions.
Oh,
bother me.
Trailing missions.
Basically, all of the Assassin's Creed
every
games.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
yeah.
Just slowly
Stealth
fall.
missions you have to do right. Yeah, I feel
I-
you have to like really do them right.
Yeah, and the stealth missions, especially, that are the ones that you're found, you fail. Like it's
Yeah.
instant failure if you get found, are just really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what the Arkham games, or at least Arkham Knight, does stealth like really good, because when you're found, you like, I think, don't you like take extra damage or something?
Wow, I don't remember that mechanic. That's interesting though. If that's true.
Yeah, I think when you get seen, I think it's like a background mechanic, but like if you get like seen and stuff, you take like extra damage and you have to like go back in hiding, and so you don't
Okay.
so it's harder to brute force your way through.
Yeah, speaking of Arkham Knight, we can just throw in all the tank battle
Oh my
missions
gosh,
that are
yeah.
in Fury.
And the freaking Deathstroke.
What a
battle.
disappointment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tank battles in the Arkham Knight just sucked.
Mhm.
They would have been fine if they did something cool, but they're pretty much the copy and paste over and over, and there's way too many of them throughout the game. And just like the final boss, or the boss fights of Arkham Knight and Deathstroke being tank battles, it's just like, are you serious?
Yeah, why is his a tank battle? That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really disappointing.
One thing I want to bring up is just something in games that I don't like is just when you have to keep like NPCs alive or something.
Oh yes, that's actually one I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up because
Yeah.
Hiccup, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you have it.
yeah, I know. Like I kind of talked about it in Divinity 2, where you don't have to, but if you want to, then it's really difficult.
Mm.
But where it's sometimes if it's essential, it is just so frustrating because
Mhm.
they're only limited to their coding and stuff. They can't be creative like you, and it's
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, I remember Resident Evil 4,
Oh
where you
yeah,
have to protect. What's the frick? Shelly.
Shelly.
What's her name? Oh, Ashley. I think Shelly is the other girl.
Oh.
Ashley. When you rescue her and you have to protect her, and she always runs into the arms of the enemies, and you have to help me, Leon.
Yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
get her out all the
gosh.
time.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not very helpful.
Well, she's a little girl. What can you do? But yeah,
Yeah.
she could be a little helpful in just staying away.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else that just like frustrates the heck out of you guys?
I know we kind of wanted to talk about it. Was Borderlands the first
Oh yeah,
Borderlands?
that was our own
That was
doing.
our fault, yeah.
Because we ran through the whole game just super underleveled.
Yeah.
We were kind of speedrunning that game.
Yeah.
So we just made it super hard. We're
Yeah.
just constantly hiding behind cover.
Yeah.
Doing-
Constantly getting each other up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just scrounging whatever ammo we could find.
I do like my ability to just get past everybody.
That's true. That was
And
very
just run
helpful.
through the levels. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was an experience. So
Mhm.
that was but that was also our doing.
There was one level in Knights of the Old Republic. This isn't very interesting, but there's like you're at like the Sith Academy, and you're like undercover,
Oh yeah, I
and you have to
remember
go
that.
in this tomb, I think, and there's this really weird puzzle that honestly, I think it's just luck to figure out the pattern where you have to like turn these lights on in the right order.
Yeah.
And I just looked up what to do because I was like, okay, what the heck? Like, how are you supposed to know what to do here?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those older games, you like need the manual or something to get through,
No,
like the
there was
gamer's
something.
guide.
Yeah, there was something like that in Divinity 2. There's literally this one section right before the final boss battle called like the death room.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of like traps and all these like little puppet toys that attack you and stuff. And there's levers everywhere, and you have to pull the certain right ones in order to open the door and like stop the battle. And I feel like if you don't look this up, it is really hard to like find out how to do it, because there's just like this one puppet on the beach, like outside in the main city,
Mhm.
that like tells you about the levers in it, and he's like still super vague about it, and it's like that's the only indication that you have of like what to do there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you do know it, then it's just like, oh yeah, do levers, that's it, it's over.
Yeah.
But it's still when you're doing the thing itself, like it gets so annoying when you're doing the fight. Like you can't do that fight normally. Like
Yeah.
they'll be turning you into cows and stuff, or transporting you all across the map, and they just keep like coming out. It's like when I was first doing, it, I was like, what do you do? Like I was just getting so frustrated at it. But yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
It's just a really weird tidbit of game design that's just kind of shoehorned in, I feel like, a lot of
Mhm.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that infuriated me, well, it didn't really infuriate me, but it was like, what the heck, was in Dante's Inferno again at the end when you have to go through all those different
Mhm.
challenges. You have to do these certain challenges. And
Yeah, there's like 10 of them or
I know,
something.
it like, I was expecting there to be like 3, but then it just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, it went on way too long.
And I had a hard time with the one where you need to stay in the air for like a certain amount of time.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
there's
was
also-
annoying.
There's also one challenge where like you gotta protect like these 2 civilians from the corner, but that one was pretty easy because you just like shoot at one over here, then over here, just alternate at the bad guys coming at them.
Uh-huh.
Huh, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't hard and it wasn't tedious. It was just like, how long does this go for?
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. Well, anything else you guys want to mention, or should we start wrapping it up?
There's, I don't know. Not really. I don't know. I think I already said what I think makes for a tedious or just really aggravating part of a game. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
that's all I got.
Cool. Then I guess we're gonna, with that out of the way, we're gonna leave we're gonna recommend a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this week it's Matherin's turn, isn't
It
it?
is.
It is?
Yeah.
Because
It
last
is.
week Tyler recommended
Brothers.
A Tale of Two
Oh,
Brothers.
yeah.
So, and I hope you guys all played that. I saw
better.
that at my local game store. I saw that game and I almost bought it, but I didn't. So I'm
Well,
sorry.
you suck.
Do you have a list of like what we've recommended?
No.
Okay.
I'll let you know if you recommended it or not.
Okay. I was going to recommend Monster Hunter World. I don't know if I have
No,
recommended
you
that yet.
haven't.
No? Okay. Then I highly recommend that. The monsters, they don't have health bars, which Liam was very, my brother, he was very angry about.
Where the health
yeah.
bar?
Where's the
But
health
it's
bars?
just kind of like a test of aptitude. Each level is like, how long can you keep this fight going on and tire out the monster,
Yeah.
before you end up slaying it. So it's a lot of fun once you get into it, but it is a lot to get into. So,
Yeah.
but I do recommend.
I couldn't quite get into
A
it.
little
'cause
too
it
grindy
was-
for me. But it is on Game Pass if you
Yeah, yeah.
So people will have Game Pass, just an easy download.
Very
Yeah, easy download.
Mhm. I just recommend all the games on Game Pass. Just download them all.
Okay then.
Well, yeah, with that, well, I guess say our goodbyes forever.
Forever? No, we'll
just
be here
till,
next
just
week.
till next week. What are we going to talk about next week? We don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
always
thanks
a
for listening.
surprise.
Shut up, I'm signing off. Thanks for listening to this week of just frustrating video games, sections and levels. Yeah, join us next week for when we talk about something else video game related.
Yeah.
If you want to send us any of your thoughts, concerns, or praises, we have a Gmail or an email, I guess, but it is a Gmail also. checkpointcornerpod@gmail.com.
All right.
Thank you all for listening.
Yeah. See you later, fools.
I'll see you next
See ya,
week.
gamers.
Bye.